preseason games. Obviously, you know, the objective is to get the ball in the end zone. But are there some other things that you try to do out here?
Myself, I just try and come out and be consistent, move the chains, and you know, hopefully that turns into putting the ball in the end zone and just doing the right thing on every play.
Offensively, with the new weapons, I think a lot of people expect more points. I mean, can you sit back and say the offense will be more productive this year?
I think we should be, because first of all, we have a better defense, and your defense is going to control the field position. And you know, we've been working on special teams in camp a lot, and that's also going to help control field position. And anytime you can take the ball over in good field position, the offense should be able to go in and score points.
Lastly, we mentioned this is your 4th season. Is this year any more critical than the others as you're playing out your contract, I guess, or is this year, you know, just another one? Or?
This year's, I think, is going to be a great year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneer team. I feel very comfortable, very confident in what I'm doing with the offense and with the players that we have in. So I'm looking for a great year and nothing less than a great year.
Thanks for being with us.
Okay, thanks.
Quarterback Vinny Testaverde of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Countdown to kickoff will continue. We'll be right back.
Can't touch this.
Coming this fall to WTOG.
No problem, Mom.
If you've been a Buccaneer fan for a long time, you may disagree, but usually in every season there are some special moments, and last year there were these two in particular. October 8th, Tampa Stadium, the first of 2 divisional games against the Chicago Bears. In front of a record home crowd of 72,000, the Bucs score on their first possession with this 11-yard reception by Mark Carrier. On their next possession, Testaverde hooks up with Bruce Hill for 41 yards. Then, William Howard dives into the middle for the score. Following a Mark Robinson interception, Testaverde finds tight end William Harris in the end zone, and the Bucs lead 21-zip. As Ditka and the Bears search for answers, the Bucs strike again with a 22-yard touchdown to Bruce Hill. Going into the 4th quarter, the Bears fight back to within 7 as Lars Tate sweeps right, then cuts inside for the score. On the Bucs' next drive, it's Tate again, this time with a 4-yard score as the Bucs end a 12-game losing streak against the Chicago Bears, final 42-35. Soldier Field, mid-November, a warmer day than expected for the rematch with the Chicago Bears. Following a Donald Igwe-Buike field goal, Winston Moss knocks the ball out of Jim Harbaugh's hands, and Reuben Davis collects it and returns it 13 yards for the touchdown. For the next 3 quarters, a defensive battle ensues. Both Harry Hamilton and Mark Robinson pick up interceptions, but the Bucs fail to capitalize. Then, with a little over 4 minutes remaining, one of the wildest offensive battles ever takes place. A melee of scoring that comes down to who will be the last to score. The Bears lead off when Mike Tomczak enters the game and promptly throws a 58-yard touchdown pass to Ron Morris. 2 plays later, Testaverde answers with this 78-yard bomb to Mark Carrier. The Bears close in with 2 scores within 50 seconds, and the Chicago Bears lead once again 31-29. Now, with less than 2 minutes remaining, the Bucs mount an 8-play, 56-yard drive to the Bears' 10-yard line, where, with 2 seconds left, Donald Igwe-Buike kicks it through the uprights as the Bucs sweep the Bears for the first time. In the final 4 minutes and 50 seconds, the 2 teams combined for 33 points, including a stretch where 4 touchdowns were scored in 11 plays to end one of the wildest finishes in Buccaneer history. Well, how about 2 more of those this year, huh? Countdown to Kickoff's going to take a break. Want to get you caught up with what's happening around the Bay and around the world. And for that, I throw it to the capable hands of Diane Roberts and John Summer.
Thank you, Bob. We'll return to Bob Alvarez live in Seattle in just a few minutes. I'm John Summer.
And I'm Diane Roberts. First, we're going to update you on news-making headlines at this hour. The standoff continues at several foreign embassies in Kuwait City, including the American mission.
Iraqi troops have the embassies sealed off tonight. And tonight, Iraqi news...
Welcome back to Countdown to Kickoff. Head coach Ray Perkins and the Buccaneers getting ready for their third preseason game. Coach, first off, as we discussed last week, the quarterback rotation for this game.
Well, we're going to play Vinny in the first half, and then from there we're going to play a little bit by ear, but Chris Chandler will see extensive playing time in the second half. Are there some players or some positions that you need to get a good look at during this game? There are quite a number of people that we want to get an extended look at, a little bit more playing time than we did last week, yes. And we've got to use, it would have been nice if we could have had our both sides of the football, defensive and offensively, together where we could play them for a half or 3 quarters maybe, but we've got too many spots that are up for grabs a little bit, not just starting positions, but backup roles as well, and depth, people that's going to give us depth on our football team. So we've got to get a look at them to evaluate them tonight. Speaking of depth, I think you said this week that the depth on defense concerns you a little bit. Well, the depth in the defensive line and the depth at the defensive back position. The depth at linebacker, I think we're in good shape there, and as we go along and as we go through the year, we'll just get better there. But the defensive line depth and the secondary depth is what's got me a little bit nervous right now. You also said that after this game you'd like to settle on who your starters are going to be. Do you still feel that way? One way or the other, we will. Yes, we'll start the game in our last preseason game against the Jets there at home with the people that more than likely are going to be starting the Detroit game. Lastly, you had mentioned you've been here a few times, so everybody talks about the noise here in the Superdome or the Kingdome, and your thoughts? Well, I don't remember the noise that much, but with a sellout crowd or close to a sellout crowd, which it's supposed to be, the stadium itself, just the way that it's built, it's real close to the playing field. The playing surface itself is very similar to the Indianapolis stadium, so I'm sure that it can get fairly loud. Thanks for being with us. Thank you. And don't forget, I want to remind you right now, the Buck Report with Ray Perkins will be here on Channel 44 the entire season. The first show is Monday, September 10th. Come to you live at 7:30. And as we wrap up this edition of Countdown to Kickoff, we'll leave you with this video version of the Buccaneer fight song.
Can't touch this.
Coming this fall to WTOG.
Can't touch this.
5 nights a week in September. You find
Of the best.
Well, welcome back to this live edition of Countdown to Kickoff, coming to you from the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. Well, last week the Buccaneers opened up the 1990 preseason with a 30-17 win over the Cincinnati Bengals. Ray Perkins, in general, pleased with the way his ball club played. Right now, we're going to take a look at some of those highlights. Last week's game against the Bucs and the Bengals. The Buccaneers quickly unveiled the future. On the game's very first play from scrimmage, Gary Anderson took the Testaverde pass and gained 9 yards. It would be his only reception, but he would also add 22 yards rushing on 4 carries before giving way to Lars Tate, who would cap the Buccaneers' second possession with this 4-yard burst up the middle. Tampa Bay's 7-3 lead was quickly erased by the visiting Bengals. Behind reserve quarterback Todd Philcox, Cincinnati put together a 76-yard drive. And when rookie Harold Green ran in from 3 yards out, the Bengals led 10-7. From this point, Jeff Carlson would be the Buccaneer quarterback, and the Bengals would be playing catch-up. Carlson immediately found a favorite target in John Harvey. This 55-yard gain set up the perfectly executed reverse to Danny Peebles. 14-10 Buccaneers, they would never look back. Before the half, Buccaneer linebacker Irvin Randall would recover this Andre Riley fumble. Tampa Bay would seize the opportunity, and after Steve Christie booted the first of his 3 field goals, the Bucs trotted off the field with a 17-10 halftime lead. The third quarter renewed the Carlson to Harvey combination. This 29-yard gain would set up Jeff Carlson's first touchdown pass in a Buccaneer uniform. His mobility led to this 12-yard strike to tight end Ron Hall, and the drive ended with Tampa Bay taking a 24-10 lead over the Bengals. Later in the third quarter, with Tampa Bay leading 27-10, Carlson again hooked up with John Harvey, this time for 24 yards and a first down. 3 plays later, free agent Kenny DeWitt broke a tackle, and this 23-yard play would set up a Buccaneer